everybody, and welcome back to another lyrical breakdown with me, ding ding ding, your lady friend Bonnie. I am happy to be here. I hope you're happy to be here. So, this week I'm doing an interesting song. I think it was one that I discovered this week while searching for new songs to look into. So I'm excited to kind of get into that. But first, let's talk about our Patreons, Mozart, and Lindell Williams. Thank you guys for supporting us and trying to help us gain some funds and try to help us improve our equipment and our system and our studio. And we're just working towards that. So thank you guys. If you guys do want to support us at all, even in a little bit, even a little way at all, we would absolutely appreciate that. So you can definitely check out the Patreon link down below. I guess that's about it. Just to let you guys know, I am on Twitter at YLFBonnie on Twitter. So short for your lady friend Bonnie. Go check me out there. I post occasionally, randomly. I don't have very many followers. I would love it if you guys followed me. I don't feel very popular over there, but that's okay. One step at a time. I guess let's get into this song here. I'm excited. So this week I am doing Too Short and his song, The Ghetto. And this came out off of his album, Short Dogs in the House from September 11th, 1990. The song is 5 minutes and 2 seconds, so it's a relatively long song. There's kind of a lot to unpack, but I feel like from the name you can kind of get the ghetto. It's kind of, he's going to be talking about the ghetto. And that's exactly what he does. So I think this is a really cool song. I'll just tell you a little bit about Too Short right now. He's one of the OGs kind of West Side rap. I think he's from Oakland specifically. I think that's where he grew up. And this song was also became really, really popular in I think I read somewhere 2006 or something like that, because it was featured on the West Coast rap music channel or whatever it is. I didn't really play the game. I watched people play the game, but I didn't really play the game of Grand Theft Auto, because it's all about making that GTA. Am I right? Don't steal cars. Don't do that. That was the San Andreas one. And the song kind of blew up again, I guess, for the next generation, because of it was featured in that video game. So that's kind of a fun fact, and I didn't discover it that way. I was just kind of trying to find songs and looking into different people's suggestions, and this the song Blowjob Betty was on several lists that I found of interesting songs to break down. So I looked into that one, and I was kind of I don't know how I felt about it. So then I just went through a few of his most popular songs. And I really liked this one, and I thought that there was a decent amount to kind of unpack, and it's honest and it's relevant, still to today, I think, in some cases, unfortunately. Just kind of his struggles to get out of the ghetto, and just sort of the realities of that world. So let's have a little listen to the song right about now, and then I shall unpack all the words.
Even though the streets are bumpy, lights burned out. Dope.
Okay. So, right at the very beginning, the song just feels good. Right when it starts, it kind of sounds like 70s Motown, maybe the Temptations. You're not really sure. I wasn't really sure, so maybe you guys were sure. I don't know. But I looked it up, and the song that is featured in this song is "The Ghetto" by Donny Hathaway, and it came out in 1970. Sorry. And just listening to that one song, I just want to buy his record. I have a record player. I love that kind of stuff. I love Motown music. I think it's great. I think he's cool. It's got this funky feeling, from the lyrics that we're gonna see. It's a great feeling. I think it's fun. You guys let me know if you guys like this song as well. So the intro is it's still the Donny Hathaway song, talking about the ghetto, funky ghetto, trying to survive, trying to stay alive. So right at the very beginning, it sounds, like I said, very funky, and it is what, he's describing. And a lot of like feeling in like the second line here, like the trying to survive, trying to stay alive. Like he's really like puts a lot of emphasis on like that line and like those like words as well. And I think that kind of like sets like the scene and like the tone a little bit more for you, because the setting is clearly the ghetto, and it is just a struggle to survive and just to stay alive. Like it's just like you're trying, as we see, you're just trying to like survive. And then we have the chorus, which is the ghetto, talking about the ghetto, the ghetto, funky, funky ghetto. So like I said, it just sounds very funky, and this song is about the ghetto. So yeah, let's get into verse uno. So even though the streets are bumpy, lights burnt out, dope fiends die with a pipe in their mouth, old school buddies not doing it right, every day it's the same, and it's the same every night. I wouldn't shoot you, bro, but I'd shoot that fool if he ever played me close and tried to test my cool. Every day I wonder just how I'll die. Only thing I know is how to survive. So the streets are clearly bumpy as he's describing them, so they're not maybe well maintained by the city, and the street lights are burnt out. So like there's like some fishy business, like clearly like the government or like the city just doesn't care about this community and doesn't care to maintain it. So drug addicts die with the pipes in their mouth, with their crack pipe, I'm guessing, and old friends, old friends not living right, maybe, and like he's talking about fiends as well. So maybe it's like, two things are kind of like interlinking a little bit. So it's the same every day, same thing, same story. You just, people wake up, they need to get their drugs, need to get money, da 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 da. It's the same thing every day. And it's just a struggle, and it's a constant, and it's just like you're living this life that's just like detrimental, I guess, in a lot of ways. And he says that he won't shoot you, but he'll shoot like the person like next to you if like he tries anything. So it's just like it's just nobody's innocent, nobody's safe, I guess. And every day he wonders if he'll die, which is a very sad reality to people living like these dangerous criminal type lives, and like in these, or maybe not even, like just like people who are just in these criminal type and dangerous places where they're just trying to survive. Like they're just trying to like get through day to day, go to school, go to, hang out with your friends, go play some basketball, read a book in the park, like, whatever you do. Like it's just, like you just are trying to do that, but like, you probably just don't have the time, or like you have to like always kind of like be on watch and be on edge. And that's not a fun life to live. So, yeah, and it's the only thing that he's good at so far is surviving, because he's made it this far. Okay, so let's keep going. There's only one rule in the real world, and that's to take care of you, only you and yours. Keep dealing with the hard times day after day. Might deal me some dope, but then crime don't pay. Black man trying to break into my house again. Thought he got off the dope just doing time in the pen, even though my brothers do me just like that. I get a lot of love, so I'm giving it back to the ghetto. So, yeah. There's only one rule, just take care of you and yours, and just, you have to like, make sure that you're taken care of, and that's the most important thing. And there's just not... It's hard to take care of other people when you're in like such dangerous and, unsure circumstances, I guess. So everybody's kind of dealing with hard times, and it's constant. And he might make some dope deals, but then again, like crime doesn't pay. And I think he knows that, like, the cost is, isn't just like, he's not just making money. It's going to cost him, like, not just monetarily, maybe, or, it cost him for his safety and, like, his, like, protection, I guess. And, like, he just wants to be taken care of. But, his safety is obviously gone. So Black Man tried to break into his house again. He thought he was in jail. but is on crack, and is on crack cocaine or whatever, but guess not, or maybe he is, and he's just trying to like, steal his supply or whatever. Even though his peers rat him out, like I guess probably maybe being a snitch or whatever, he doesn't hold it against them. He just kind of like sends, love towards his enemies because he knows that, hard times call for like, hard choices, I'm guessing. And like, he's just trying to like love them and, appreciate it and whatever, whatever. I guess he's not probably trying to appreciate it, but he's just trying to like give love instead of anger, I guess, and just trying to make the ghetto better in even a little bit. And then we have the chorus, the ghetto, talking about the ghetto, funky, funky ghetto, the ghetto, trying to live our lives, the ghetto, won't you tell them about it, too short. So that's, the similar, same song that's chosen again. So he's just trying to survive in the funky, funky ghetto. And he's just kind of like, tell the audience about it, too short, you tell your people. Okay, and then we have verse 2. So just peep the game and don't call it crap, 'cause to me, life is one hard rap. Even though my sister smoked crack cocaine, she was 9 months pregnant, ain't nothing changed. 600 million on a football team, and her baby died just like a dope fiend. The story I tell is so incomplete. 5 kids in the house, no food to eat. So this is just sort of like a peep into his life and his community and like what he sees. He's just showing us like this little view of his world a little bit. And don't think that he's lying because this is his reality. Like he's being honest. Like don't say that this isn't true. I'm guessing, you can fact check this. He even saw like his sister, or like maybe he means like his sister in like the friendly term, like just like someone that he loves, but isn't necessarily like biologically a sister. I don't know. Either way, someone he cares about. Smoked crack all through her pregnancy and giving the baby, I'm sure, issues, and probably being born addicted to crack. And the state or whoever is funding just gave $600 million to a football team. And yet there's a community and people that are basically crying out for help and continues to remind the world of what's going on by making songs like this. And yet nothing is done, nothing changes. And there's clearly like some discrimination, or like they're just not caring about certain people and places and parts of their community as well. They're just neglecting their community. And I think that sucks. That's it. So the baby died being born like a dope addict. So like it harmed the baby that much that, if doing, I guess, crack cocaine while pregnant is not a good idea, right? And meanwhile, there are 5 other kids at home with no food, and, they're probably just kind of taking care of themselves, and it's sort of like a sad reality. And he's kind of pointing the finger at this, kind of saying, like, why aren't you doing something? Like, help us. Like, he's kind of like criticizing, or like he's kind of criticizing the people who criticize him and like his peers by like criticizing and trying to like censor the music, but like never listen to the message that they're trying to tell you, like in their music. Like if you just listen to it and stop trying to like censor it and like blocking your ears and whatever, like just listen to what they're saying, because it's not just like, vulgar and like swearing and whatever, because there's clearly a message behind songs like this, like The Ghetto, where they're saying like this is all the crap and like nobody's helping us and the streetlights are burnt out and the roads are crap. Like he's basically saying like, and then this girl's, this crack, the baby died of crack, and like, nobody was helping, and then there's 5 kids who don't have any food. So like, why isn't the government like helping us more there and like trying to like get us, like I think that's kind of like his, he's obviously kind of saying like, this is what's going on. Like, you need to do something about this. So yeah. So don't look at me and don't ask me why mama's next door getting high, even though she's got 5 mouths to feed. She'd rather spend money on the HIT. I always tell the truth about things like this. I wonder if the mayor overlooked that list. Instead of adding to the task force, send some help. Waiting on him, I'd better buy myself, housing authority, and the OPD, all these guns just to handle me in the ghetto. So, like, don't look, kind of like at him or his people, I guess, sort of like asking, like, for answers to, like, this kind of behavior and, like, this kind of life that he's in and that they're all in. Like, they're in it because they're in it. And they're, like, I feel like they were kind of unwillingly put there or whatever. And I don't really know how the ghetto started. I should look that up. That's a really smart idea. If you guys live in any of like these like kind of locations, or like if you know anything about it, definitely let me know like how these communities started. And like, well, I'm sure I know like the ones in like the South, but like the ones in like California, like I don't know if that would maybe like develop differently, or like how places in I feel like I've read a few things about the ones in like Brooklyn and stuff like that, how they kind of got started, but I don't know that much about the West Coast. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below, please. So he's, like I'm saying, he can't give an example like why kids or why his mother or there is a mother next door that's getting high and spending her money on drugs, and while she has 5 kids at home. Like, he just can't explain why this mother is doing that. And he's always honest about these kinds of things. Like, he's not lying. He's saying what he sees. And he's kind of wondering if the list of problems in this area was kind of like looked over by the mayor, or like I said, just simply ignored, probably. What he does spend money on, like, and like the mayor, what the money he's spending, he spends it on guns and like attacks in the ghetto, and to combat like the violence and the dangers in these communities, but doesn't provide any sort of like support system or any sort of like assistance to kind of get them out of that life or off of the drugs. There are things that could be done, and they're just left to be, right? Or like shelters, or just someplace safe where people can go and do whatever. But I mean, like I said, this was, this came out in 1990. Like, yes, I hope things are a little bit different, a little bit, and that there's a little bit more help in like communities like this, where everyone is just suffering. So that's the end of that one. Let's go to the chorus. So we have the ghetto, people are dying. The ghetto, children are crying. The ghetto, don't have enough to eat. The ghetto, don't even have shoes on their feet. The ghetto. And some of the rhymes, like I think that he's like that was taken from the sample, and some of the rhymes that are featured in by Too Short. They kind of have like a little bit of like a Dr. Seussy flow, but it's really interesting, and like that works well, I think, for telling a story and making it kind of interesting and fun, and it has like a fun flow as well. It kind of like gets you involved in it, I guess. And again, hard truths: people are dying, kids are suffering and being neglected, and that's just life in the ghetto, because that's life, unfortunately. Okay, so verse 3. Even though they put us down and call us animals, we make their big banks and buy brand new clothes, drive fancy cars, make love to stars, never really saying just who we are. We use alias names like Too Short, sell you stuff you might kill for. Young kids grow up and that's all you know. Don't teach him in school, now he's slanging dope. So even though society and the powers that be put them down and call them animals, I'm guessing like these people who are running around and like causing crimes and just being kind of up to no good. Or I don't know if he's calling just black people animals. Like, I don't know like what like he's referring to in this example, or maybe maybe someone said something to him or about certain people. So if you guys know the answer, let me know down below, please. But I'm gonna look into that as well, I think. So they defy the stereotypes by like making money and like any possible way that they can. Obviously, like I said, doing crimes, causing crimes, being like drug dealers or like pimps or prostitutes. But I think he's like mostly talking about like the drug dealers that are going on, and that they're, because of all of that, like they're making money, like kind of dirty money. And then they look rich with like all this like new fancy stuff, but like they kind of have like I said, dirty money, right? So they're going to drive fancy cars and sleep with celebrities, and all the time, kind of remaining like relatively anonymous because they're using like stage names basically, or like just fake names. And I guess this is pre, Google. You can't just like look up who was. Well, I don't think it's going to be in an encyclopedia. But like the real name of Too Short, like I think that's like you would have to know that that's what his real name is. Like I don't know if like everybody would know that in like 1989, 1990. I don't know where you would find that out. I guess like a fan page or something. I don't know. I'm just babbling at this point. Let's get back to it. So people like him and other celebrities make you want them and make you want to be like them so much. And then when they put out anything or release anything or like, put on a show, people are willing to almost kill for whatever product just because he's idolized. And I think also if you change like that whole like his rap, I think that you can change it to, crack or whatever drug that you want. And like it's the same sort of thing. It's like whatever he sells you, as like a drug dealer, you're going to buy it because he looks so cool and, he's so rich and he's so famous. He's got all these nice things and, he makes you want it, whether it's his rap or whether it's drugs. I think that's it, like drug dealers, basically just getting rich and famous. And that's what the kids are like looking up and they're seeing like these are like their idols. And I don't know, I think that's not the life to live, but it's one way, you can live that way, but it's maybe not the best life. And if all these rich and famous people are selling drugs and getting rich and whatever, then that's what I want. Like that's what little kids are going to think. Right. So I think you have to be a little bit careful with that. But he's also criticizing like the school system, saying, they didn't teach him in school, like schools aren't good here. Again, like another criticism of like his community and like the government and like, all like the, all the different like ways that, schooling should be like probably, a better priority and like whatever. But like, certain communities or certain neighborhoods probably get very nice schools and very nice things, and then certain places probably don't get the same luxuries, even though everyone pays taxes, I guess, right? Or does what they can. So that's kind of like what they're saying, and like he is also saying that that's how they learn the slang and the system because other rappers are talking about it in their music. And making it seem like a smart and like a wild life and like kind of like a cool thing and that you'll make money. And everyone thinks that they can kind of, outlast, everyone else and like they'll be able to survive like any sort of attack and they're like super badass and, they're super tough guys. But in the end, anybody can just be carrying a gun and seeking revenge or angry or like, needing of drugs or whatever, and they don't really care who you are. Like they just want to like get money, and get drugs and like that's it. So, and like if you're in this community, probably also just the likelihood of being there is going to like increase your chances of getting killed. Unfortunately, like if like everybody around you has guns and is like being violent and whatever else, there's, you could get in like the line of like the crossfire and stuff like that. So, but obviously that he's not talking about that. That's just me like going on. But yeah, so that's it. Only thing he knows is how to survive, but will he kill another brother before he dies? In the ghetto, you keep one eye open all day long, just hoping and hoping you can pay your bills and not drink too much. Then the problems of life you'll be throwing up like me, but you don't see 10 years from now, where will you be? So all he knows is how to survive. He doesn't know just how to be, sort of like Common, like how we did Common B for Classic Quest. So he will, he doesn't know if maybe he'll end up killing someone else in his community or whatever before he dies. Like, he doesn't know, and it's fair to say that, like, you never know who's going to walk in your front door or who's going to, like I said, attack you or whatever. So you don't know like what you're going to be confronted with and what decisions you're going to have to make So you don't know if you're going to end up having to kill someone before you end up dying. So yeah, that's a scary reality. And yeah, like I said, or what he said, I guess, in the ghetto, you're never safe. Always keep one eye open. People in the ghetto are like I said at the very beginning, like they're always on like high alert, and it like builds stress and it builds anxiety, and it causes people to like act maybe irrationally or like, aggressively because they're like on defense, and often maybe more aggressive or stronger. If they weren't always feeling like that, if they weren't always feeling like they were like maybe going to be attacked in their own homes, from either like the police or like, a home invasion or whatever. Like you said, they talked about another black man, entered his home. So, it could be like he's just trying to like survive and everyone's just kind of like attacking everyone else, which sucks. Yeah. And every day you just hope, that, and you hope that you'll be able to get through another month of paying your bills and, kind of, I guess, maybe avoiding spending your money on like bad habits, like are common. He says that like once he felt like that, but you don't know like how your life will either be the same or will it be or will it be worse in 10 years? If you don't change, it feels impossible. And, he's kind of saying, like, where will you be? Like, you're still going to be in the ghetto if you don't make a change. Like, I know it's hard. And I think that he's also kind of saying, like, we need help. Like, like I think that's kind of like a clear message throughout the song a little bit. He doesn't have to be, like, too aggressive. But I think he's also saying, like, listen, like, this is a cry of help. Like, we were basically saying, like, this are all what's going wrong. Here's the list. Come fix it. Like it sucks. Like I can imagine like the frustrations of that. And then we have the chorus again. The ghetto, trying to get out of the ghetto, but I got no place to go. The ghetto, trying to survive in the heart of the ghetto, ha, because that's the only place that I know. So they can try to get out, but then, that's the life in like the heart of the ghetto, and that's all they know, and that's all they've ever been exposed to. And that's, because of that, like the likelihood that they're going to like get out of that or get away from that is like they probably feel that that's never going to happen. Like it didn't happen to my mom, it didn't happen to my grandma. Like we're all just stuck here. And, it just sucks. And, they already feel put down by everyone in power that they just kind of feel like they give up, I think, a lot of the time. And they just feel like it's not worth it. I can't be bothered. I can't keep on fighting, like it's hard. Like I get it. Like I wouldn't want to be in their shoes, like people who are stuck in these crappy like situations, and it just seems like kind of like a revolving door or whatever it is. Like it's just you're just going around in circles, like nothing, you never kind of get out of it, and you're just stuck there, and yeah, it sucks. So, okay, here we have verse 4, the last verse. So much game in a too short rap. Can't be white and whites can't be black. Why you want to act like someone else? All you got to do is just be yourself. We're all the same color underneath. Short dog is in the house. You better listen to me. Never be ashamed of what you are. Proud to be black. Stand tall and hard. So he's kind of just talking about the hood in this rap. He's saying, obviously we know, he can't be white and white people can't be black. Yep, sounds like it makes sense. Why would you want to? Like, you should just want to be yourself. Like, why would you want to be something different? And everyone is like the same color and like their heart and their soul. And when you strip away like our skin, like we're all the same thing underneath. So he's just kind of like, yeah, we're all just people. So, so he's here to kind of like be, like, he just wants to like tell you again, like this, this is, come up time and time again, in different songs and different artists. Like he's just kind of like saying like he wants you guys to be better. He wants like his community to be better. He wants like all his, all of his audience, everybody who's listening to him to be better. He wants the government to be better. He wants the mayor to be better. Like he wants the schools to be better. Like he just wants everything to be better. I think is like the overall message, right? And like I think that that's, you know, kind of like the great thing here is that he's also trying to be good, and he's also trying to like leave like a positive message at the end of this song, and like he wants to be a great role model, and I think that that's important if you can. And he's also saying, like, never be ashamed of, like, what you are. Like, proud to be Black, stand tall and hard. And it's a great reminder for his, like, community and his, like, Black brothers and sisters, and to, like, the Black youth that listens to him, you know, who are, you know, maybe struggling or going through some difficult times. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you just have to just remember that you, like, just shouldn't be, like, ashamed of anything, you know? Like, you shouldn't be ashamed of like yourself and your color of your skin and whatever. Like, it's the way you're supposed to be. We're all made the way we're supposed to be. And yeah, don't be ashamed. I think is what it is. Like, he's just like be proud. So let's get to the very end here. So even though some people give you no respect, be intelligent when you put them in check. When you put them in check. Because when you're ignorant, you get treated that way, and when they throw you in jail, you got nothing to say. So if you don't listen, it's not my fault. I'll be getting paid, and you'll be paying the cost. Still sitting in the jailhouse, running your mouth, while me and my people try to get out. So he's just kind of saying, like, even though, you know, some people don't respect you, be smarter than them and win. Like, just be better than, like, the people below you who, you know, you're kind of like crawling up. You want to be at the top, right? Like you don't want to be like them. Like, why would you listen to them? Like, they're just going to pull you down. Like, you need to go up. You know, and it's wise words. You know, it's just like, don't be ignorant, because you're going to get treated that way. And he's kind of saying it in like reverse as well. Like, don't disrespect those people, but also don't be stupid like those people. Yeah, because you're going to get treated like, if you act stupid, then you're going to get treated stupid. I guess, you know, make smart choices. If you don't listen to his wise words, then that's kind of like on you. Like, that's your problem. Like, he's telling you the truth. He's talking to you. Your call if you don't want to listen to it, whatever. Like, he's still gonna be making money, and he's still gonna be, he's still gonna be like rich and famous, and you won't be, and that's your problem. That's basically what he's saying. If you want to live that life in the ghetto, that's on you. And you'll just be in jail and talking shit and still like going on the way you do and not listening to anybody. Meanwhile, like that you're, you know, talking all this shit and whatever, he's going to be like escaping, just like he did, I'm guessing. You know, he's probably not living there anymore, or if he is, it's probably in a much nicer place, and probably with some security. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We have the chorus again at the end. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, talking about the ghetto, the ghetto, talking about the ghetto, funky, funky ghetto. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, trying to survive. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, trying to stay alive. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, funky, funky ghetto. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, got no place else to go. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto, trying to stay alive. The ghetto, talking about the ghetto. So, a little bit there at the end. So that's it. It's just sort of like a reminder of life in the ghetto. Stay alive, stay funky, and like stay like woke to like all the new kids today. You know, I guess that's sort of like the new message. You know, stay aware, stay like keep talking about issues that are bothering you and like your community and, you know, whoever that you care about. And like if you keep seeing all these terrible things happening around you, like you know, make it relevant. Like, you know, you put it in your music, make it sound good, make people want to listen to it, make people want to listen to like your message of change. And I think that's really important. If you can do that, then that's great. Like yeah, he's like a motivational speaker, I guess. So this song is basically just, like I said, it's about the hard truths in the ghetto and sort of like the reaction and judgment to, and like I think from a little bit like to the government and the lack of support that they give them, and that you should try to just do everything that you can to get out of the ghetto, just like he did, and like keep surviving and don't stop trying. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Like that's basically like the whole point of the song. He's telling you a story. He's telling you some things that he's seen. He's calling it out on some, messages and just saying like, listen, if you don't want to like help us or like, and you also wanted to stay in the ghetto and you don't want to like help yourself, I'm sorry. Like that's on you. So yeah, so I'm really glad I discovered Too Short. I'm late to the party a little bit because he has some really killer raps. I'm really interested in looking into more of his stuff. If you guys have any suggestions of other songs that you want me to do, not necessarily of his, but any songs that you want me to look into, definitely leave comments down below. I always add songs to my suggestion list, and every like second week or so, I tend to pick one from that list. So they get chosen like at like a regular pace, I would say. This week was my choice. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Hope it was your choice in the end as well. Yeah, so thanks for sticking with me and enjoying this. I hope you did. If you did, thumbs up, leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of me being really weird and talking about rap songs. I will be here for you. So let me know, send some love, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!